The Rocky Mountain Rangers are a very cool part of the Prince George community. Not only their own history, how they were here, they left, and now they've been brought back by a community effort, but also the folks that are part of the Rocky Mountain Rangers and the deployments they take. We're going to share one of those stories with you and so much more on CKPG Today. When you stand here at the Cenotaph Veterans Plaza in Prince George, you can't help but think of the contributions from all of the names on the cenotaph, albeit there's some missing from here as well, folks from Prince George that gave the ultimate sacrifice. And now it's impossible to talk about military history here in Prince George without talking about the Rocky Mountain Rangers as well, who we're going to pay a visit to at Dornbierre Crescent, talk a little bit about some history with them and some recent members who have gone on some recent deployments. Now inside the mess here at the Rocky Mountain Rangers in Prince George, Bravo Company, and so lucky to be joined by Warrant Officer Gayski. Thank you so much for making the time.
No problem.
Yeah. So of course, Remembrance Day coming up, and the Rocky Mountain Rangers are a big part of military history here in Prince George. And well, there's lots to talk about on the table, but for those who don't know, kind of walk me through, I guess, a little bit of how the Rocky Mountain Rangers are these days.
It's Bravo Company stood up in early 2010s. Now we're parading almost a full platoon, hopefully growing from there. But things are going well. The soldiers, the members are deploying overseas, and we're getting some good training done around Prince George and around Williams Lake.
I like it. So Warrant Officer Tan's going to join us a little later on here today as well to talk about a deployment. But first, we are with you talking a little bit of history, like you were saying, Bravo Company here. The history of the Rangers is kind of a unique one because they were here, they left, now we're back. And I guess we got some kind of cool mementos from over the period of the Rangers. Where are we going to start?
I guess we could start with this guy right here.
Yeah, the obvious
piece. So being as the Rocky Mountain Rangers have existed in the Canadian Armed Forces since the early 1900s. This is a World War II Sten gun. It's demilitarized now. It was donated to the mess. Just a piece of equipment that Rangers would have used in World War II. Up until about the late 1950s, when it was replaced by another submachine gun before that got phased out and got replaced by what we use currently.
It's kind of crazy to think. So guys would have been carrying around, what does it look like when you are in World War II? Are you carrying around this plus other kind of guns and?
Yeah, so drawing attention to the middle photo.
Yeah.
When Rangers deployed, they deployed in all manners, and had just as many jobs as we do now, and had to were required to carry all the equipment they needed, right?
Right, of course, yeah.
Different positions were offered different equipment based on the time period and what was necessary. So this one in particular is a representation of a soldier, likely from the Rocky Mountain Rangers during Operation Cottage.
Okay, Operation Cottage, what is this? I've never heard of this before.
So it's a little known operation that happened up in the Aleutian Islands during World War II in 1943 and 44. So August 15th, the Rocky Mountain Rangers, along with other units from both Canada and the United States, landed on the island of Kiska, expecting to encounter Japanese soldiers. They didn't. The Japanese soldiers had left 2 weeks prior, and they patrolled the island up until January 1944.
Wow.
So while it's not, it's certainly not, November 11th isn't a specific date involving that operation, knowing that we had Rocky Mountain Rangers on that island in 1943. Definitely adds another level of thought when it comes to Remembrance Day.
That is wild. And now the uniforms is something else I was going to ask about, because they weren't wearing their own uniforms. It doesn't appear that way.
Yeah. So for many of the soldiers that were involved in Operation Cottage, a lot to do with the joint training between the two countries. They donned American uniforms, used American weapons, and patrolled the island as such.
Wow. Okay, let's move on to
Color
this one.
dots.
Yeah, because this is interesting. Lots of cool badges. So what are these and where are they? They're placed on a uniform?
So you have the cat badges up top, so
Okay.
not dissimilar to the ones we wear now. Different versions of them. All these ones are brass.
You can step over here. If you want.
And then up top we have a color dog that would have been worn on a dress uniform on the colors.
Gotcha.
At the bottom there is a cat badge of our sister regiment, our allied regiment, the Green Howards, continued or perpetuated by the Yorkshire Regiment in the UK. So while or after this had all ended, many Rocky Mountain Rangers were also sent to the UK to help conduct training prior to brigades and battalions headed over to the theater in Europe.
Wow.
Many Rocky Mountain Rangers also augmented those people that went to the front lines in Europe.
Before we get to Warrant Officer Tan, I did want to ask a little bit about kind of what you're going to be thinking about this Remembrance Day. I mean, we're living in the year 2025 here. Freedom is something I feel like we all take for granted. But what are you going to be thinking about when you're marching, doing the thing on Remembrance Day?
I think you just generally think about the sacrifices of soldiers, aviators, and sailors, both past, present, and future. But as a member that has been fortunate to deploy a few times, certainly you have to think about my family and the sacrifices that they made to allow me to go overseas and conduct my job as is, right? So there's certainly a lot of thoughts going through your mind as you're marching down the street.
Yeah.
But it's pretty impactful day, I think, for a lot of us.
Yeah, and I couldn't imagine. Impactful to be part of it, impactful to watch it as well. So I encourage you to come out to Remembrance Day and take that in. Thank you for your time today, Warrant Officer Gaiske. Appreciate it. And thanks for sharing of all these cool artifacts, mementos, pieces of history of the Rocky Mountain Rangers. Thanks.
No problem.
Miss an episode? That's okay, life gets busy. We get it. Or maybe you didn't miss anything, but you're here to watch that one feature again because honestly, it was that good. No judgment. Here's the good news. You can relive every moment of the CKPG Today Show whenever you want. Head over to ckpgtoday.ca, click on the Today Show tab, and voila. So grab some snacks, kick back, and binge away because let's face it, life's too short to miss out on great local TV.
Now, as we continue our visit here at the Rocky Mountain Rangers Bravo Company in Prince George on Dornbier Crescent, we are joined by Warrant Officer Tan. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well.
Yeah, thanks for coming, making the time to talk to us today and talk to the viewers as well. I always think it's great to hear from active members of the Rangers like yourself. But tell me a little bit about how many years you've been a Ranger and why you like it so much.
Well, I've actually only been a Ranger for about 5 years. I moved up here from the Lower Mainland. So in total, I've been in the reserves for about 22, 23 years now.
Oh, wow. Okay, so almost, I don't know how old you are, but like that's a long portion of your life.
It's a lot of gray hairs in the head.
Why'd you start? Do you remember?
I had a acquaintance claim that they had joined the Navy.
Okay.
It turns out that it was a lie, but whatever.
Yeah.
So, I just I thought it looked cool, and so I joined.
Look just like so many here. We hear that from lots of people in Prince George. They go, yeah, well, they look pretty cool, so I want to join and see what they're up to. But you just came back from a super cool mission operation. Tell me a little bit about you were in Jordan.
Yes, I was in Jordan with what we call the Canadian Training and Assistance Teams for Jordan, and it was in 2024. And we were, my mission itself was the mobile training team, and we went around to the Jordanian quick response battalions, right? And we just assisted in their training. We mentored them in certain aspects.
Wow. What was it like to be over there? This is the Middle East. I mean, we hear about it all the time. What was it like for you? Like, what was your firsthand, what was your day in the life like?
Well, Jordan itself, it's a very Western country in terms of infrastructure and all that stuff. So, we were some of the times in the capital city of Amman, right? And sometimes we were down south. Really, my role, we drove around a lot.
Okay,
right?
that was your mobile command. Yeah,
exactly. So we drove around to the various battalions inside their brigade, right?
Yep.
Their quick reaction brigade, and we were fortunate enough to spend a lot of times working with the Americans and the British as well.
Oh, wow.
Right. So the Americans, they had their SFAB or their Security Forces Assistance Brigade, right? And the UK, they had sent their 4 Rangers, I believe, that's what they called. And it's a funny story. We got to talking, and they're like, oh yeah, this is us, this is what we do, this is our organization, UK as well. And this was after a couple of weeks, a couple of months in, and like, what do you guys do? Like, what are you guys? Oh, we're all reservists. They're like, what? Because
their mind are blown because they're full service guys. Is that?
Yeah. They're regular force members in very specified, specific roles that they had to apply for and test for and all that. And they're kind of surprised because we were all reservists coming in from Canada. Yeah. We were almost all infantry, and we were doing infantry things, but they were like, oh, well, we're surprised that they didn't spend a specialized force to do this. Yeah.
And so that must make you pretty proud to be part of that, because obviously these guys are like, wow, these reservists are pretty darn good.
It was interesting. It was interesting to see Canada sending reservists to do things that other countries send specialized forces to do. Yeah.
What, like, when you're over there, how long were you over there for?
About 6 months.
6 months. How do you, pass the time, not get homesick? These things, like, because I mean, these are things that come to my mind as well, especially.
We were pretty busy. We were working 6 days a week, 16 hours a day, a lot of times. So we mostly just spent our time focused on the task.
Gotcha.
Right. Obviously, we would talk to each other. Some of the times we were living kind of close in. Other times we had pretty good residences. So
okay,
it wasn't too bad.
Was it what you expected or no?
Different, right?
Different.
Previous mission went to Afghanistan, so in my mind, that was there, and then Jordan was very different.
Okay, yeah, very different. We were talking about the driving habits, even the difference in something as simple as that. But so this is 2 deployments for you. What if you were, talking to someone out there, a kid in high school, kid in elementary school, some interest in joining the Rocky Mountain Rangers? What would you say? What would you tell them? What are some highlights? What are some things to think about?
Well, there's a possibility of doing some very different, very interesting things that you might not otherwise get to experience. And experiences vary.
Of course, yes.
Sometimes you have exciting but uncomfortable experiences, and other times comfortable, maybe not so exciting experiences, but they're all very useful.
Yeah, I like it. What are you going to be thinking about on November 11th?
I've known some people who have given the ultimate sacrifice, so I will definitely have them in mind as I march.
Yeah. Something that definitely puts it in perspective when you think about it like that. You yourself are a reason that we have the freedom that we do have today. So I thank you for your service on your deployments. Thanks to Warrant Officer Gaske as well for joining us today. And watch for some future opportunities, folks, to learn about the Rocky Mountain Rangers, get inside the walls here on Dornbirn Crescent. These are all guys that you can meet, stories you can hear yourself, and things you can take in, like these mementos on the table today as well. But yeah, thank you for your time, and I appreciate what you do.
Thank you for your support.
Folks, what a week it has been on the Power Play Getaway, bringing you some great local hockey players doing some fantastic shootout moves for you to guess if they would get it in or not. We're going to start day 5 by revealing our shot from yesterday. This was Easton Goulet, who was over 1 in the Power Play Getaway so far, but he comes in here with a really creative move. Kind of a Patrick Kane-esque here. He really slows down, fake, backhand, forehand, and he gets it in. So if you guessed that Easton Goulet would get it in, you would be right. What a goal! Now it's time to introduce Nicole Bateman for the second time. You will remember she had quite the move in her first attempt on the Power Play Getaway, and now it's time for her second attempt. The captain of your Northern Capitals here in British Columbia. And guess what? She comes in with a heck of a lot of speed. She goes a little fake. Forehand, backhand, will she get it in? Well, that's for you to decide in day number 5 of the Power Play Getaway. This one is fun because you have the whole weekend to guess away, folks, and we will reveal if she gets it in on Monday. A huge shout out to our sponsors for making this contest possible: the Rosedale on Robson, the Prince George Airport, YXS, Living Well on Ospika Boulevard, the Prince George Spruce Kings, and Interior Off-Road. Enter your guesses online now at ckpgtoday.ca. Now, folks, we're going to step into a conversation we were having with Diana and Barbie from Carrier Sekani Family Services about the Nogina cultural training. If you remember yesterday, we were talking about reconciliation, the importance of doing so, and the importance of learning the truth, which is where we're going to step into our conversation today.
When we think about the impact that colonization, residential school has had on all of us in the community, not just First Nations people, but the general population, and this training gives us an opportunity to say, how has it impacted me, whether I'm First Nations or not, and it does for the participants. The participants get to look at their own lens when it comes to working with First Nations people. And we had one particular staff member who's worked for Carrier Sekani for 30 years, and they took it, and after 50, and one of the things they said, after 15 years of working for the agency, what I've learned in 2 days, it took me 15 years to learn.
Wow.
So yeah, because there's just so much in the content to be able to unpack some of those, some of the impacts, but in a very respectful, kind way. And and like I said in the beginning, that I think everyone should take it, because it really is an opportunity to say, how can we all work together when it comes to reconciliation?
Yeah.
Right. And that's the biggest thing about our training, is that we want everybody to be able to understand what First Nations people went through in a very loving, kind, respectful way. And we think everyone should take it, really, and because it is such an important training. And we, and just, in 2020, we actually won the Lieutenant Governor's Award.
Yes, yeah. I was going to say, this is an award-winning training that the Carrier Sekani is proud to offer. Like, this is stuff that you don't get the opportunity to do really anywhere else in BC.
Yeah.
It's 2021. It's a BC Reconciliation Award, and it's a Lieutenant Governor Award of BC.
Wow.
So we were very fortunate. In listening to Diana, we both love doing this work, and it gives an opportunity for myself and for our participants around moving forward and working together. And this program also brings our own First Nations that may have been away from their community, and they want to go back and learn more of their nation. So it's an amazing program. We really share a lot of truth telling, our histories, what the atrocities that a lot of our members have faced.
Yeah, important to tell as well. And I appreciate you both for coming in here and talking about it today as well. I wanted to point out the book we have on the table here is available at Books & Company in Prince George, and you might find it elsewhere as well. But this gives a little bit of a snippet. If you can't make the training work for whatever reason, at least give the book a read. You get a little bit of knowledge on the systems, the potlatch system, which I learned so much about. But yeah, I think my biggest takeaway, just to kind of steal the stage for a second, was just the lack of knowledge that I think, and maybe the ignorance that lots of us have towards Carrier Sekani nations. I think that we all should do a much better job in learning for what really is the true story.
Well, thank you for that.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful program, and we share the local stories, and how, even for example, how Lately was moved away from here. And it happened to many other communities, and a lot of people don't really understand us. There's a lot of myths that happens, that we get everything for free, and so this program kind of sets the stage in telling the truth that no, we don't get everything free.
Yeah, truth is important. For folks wondering, what is the easiest way to sign up for the program?
Yeah, just sign into Carrier Sekani Family Services and look for the Nogana training, and you can hit the link and you can sign up for it, and you'll get a message from Jerry Lynn Kirk, who is one of our coordinators, and she'll hook you up for sure.
And also too, like it's a 2 half days.
Yes.
We can also do 2 full days.
Oh, okay.
And we've had an opportunity with the social workers, the nurses, the health professionals, the doctors. So we really encourage as many people that could come and join us.
Yeah, open to the public, open to groups,
Yeah.
however it worked for you, they will make it work at Carrier Sekani Family Services. And yeah, I'm just so grateful to have the opportunity to have gone through this. So thank you for joining us, Musty Cho, for coming on today as well.
Absolutely.
And Sinichelia, and folks, give it a whirl. I mean, you can't go wrong learning about the true history here in our region. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Taking a look outside at our CKPG snapshot of the day from Bonnie Rentz, who enjoyed a walk along Tabor Lake recently. She mentioned a lot of geese honking away. You can see here that's a beautiful setting for a walk. My goodness. There are plenty of beautiful settings across our region, and this is definitely one of them, Bonnie. Yes, and one of those days where the wind actually doesn't look that bad either. Beautiful. Thanks so much for sending that one in. If you have any snapshots, folks, your fall adventures, we'd love to see them. Send them our way. snapshot@ckpg.com is our email. Hey there, got an idea or suggestion for the show? Reach out and connect through our social media or send us an email at letstalk@ckpgtoday.ca.
You know, they talk about downtown Prince George is on the floodplain, the 100-year floodplain. Well, guess what? You go back just over 100 years, 1921 in particular. A bad year for flooding. At this time of year, it's really kind of inconceivable to think about an ice jam happening right now, but it did happen in November 1921. And yeah, it put some things underwater. You'd be like, oh, wow. Yeah, the water was very high. Take a look at this today in local history.
Taking a look back to 1921, the same area where all the trains roam today, downtown Prince George, was very flooded. Now, we prevent this flooding by the use of dikes today, although 1921 was an exceptional year because of a giant ice jam. Yes, even this early in the winter caused the river levels to rise this much, where basically the trains were underwater. There's actually a guy standing, if you look closely, on the side of this train, trying to move it along and get it out of the yard in case the waters rose even further. There you go. That's why they call it like a 100-year floodplain, downtown Prince George.
I think of an ice jam as like the worst, right? Because, you know, it's flooding in the spring, at least it's kind of warm out. Ice jam, everything's cold, everything's frozen. There's really no relief in sight. It's not going to warm up. I mean, you can hope it will, but I don't know. And then the people having to deal with that, Godspeed to those guys. The firefighters, I know, do a lot of that work. But anyways, thanks so much for watching today. We learned a lot together. Don't forget to enter the Power Play Getaway. We got one more week of contesting, so if you haven't got one right yet, you still got a chance. 5 chances next week to do that. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you for more after the weekend, folks. Bye for now.